All right, we are about to journey into a world so small you can't see it, but it powers every single living thing on this planet. We're going deep into the fundamental building block of life itself, the cell. So let me ask you something. What in the world could you, a tiny little bacterium, and a massive redwood tree possibly have in common? I mean, really think about it. The answer is actually simpler and way more incredible than you might guess. And there it is. The answer is the cell. This is where the entire story of life really kicks off, right down at the smallest, most fundamental scale imaginable. Now, don't just gloss over that definition. Think about the power packed into that idea. A cell isn't just some tiny particle. It's literally the smallest thing that we can consider to be fully and truly alive. It's like its own little self-contained universe, running all the programs necessary for life. So what are these life processes? Well, they're the big ones, right? A cell has its own metabolism to process energy. It can grow, it can reproduce and make more of itself, and it can actually respond to what's going on around it. These four things, this is the bedrock of what it means to be alive. Okay, so how do we know all this stuff? Well, our entire understanding of modern biology is built on just a few core principles. You can think of them as the foundational rules for the game of life. It's called cell theory. And these are the non-negotiables. Rule number one, if it's alive, it's made of cells. Simple as that, whether it's one cell or trillions. Rule two, the cell is the basic unit. It's the ground floor where all the action happens. And rule three, and this was a mind-blowing discovery, cells don't just pop into existence. Every single cell comes from another cell that already existed. Life creates more life. So, we've established that all life is made of cells. But does that mean all cells are the same? Well, no, not quite. It turns out that life on Earth uses two main blueprints, two basic designs for how to build a cell. On one hand, you have the prokaryotic cell. This is the original, simpler model. Think of it like a one-room studio apartment. It's small, efficient, and everything, including the DNA, is just kind of floating around in one open space. Then you have the eukaryotic cell. That's the kind you're made of. This is more like a huge mansion. It's larger with tons of different rooms, or organelles, each with a very specific job. And, crucially, it has a central office, the nucleus, that keeps the all-important DNA safe and sound. You know what? Let's just run with that mansion idea. Or better yet, let's think of a eukaryotic cell as a bustling, high-tech city. All those little organelles inside, they're the specialized buildings and workers that keep the whole operation humming along. So let's take a quick tour. And here you can really see that division of labor. The nucleus, that's City Hall, the control center running the whole show and protecting the city's blueprints, the DNA. The mitochondria are the power plants, cranking out the energy, or ATP, that fuels everything. Ribosomes are the factories, building proteins day and night. And the cell membrane, that's the city limits, the border patrol with some seriously tight security, deciding who and what gets in or out. Let's actually zoom in on that border patrol for a second. The cell membrane, because this isn't just a static wall. Oh no, it's a super dynamic, intelligent gatekeeper that manages every bit of traffic flowing into and out of our little cellular city. Now, the easiest way to get across the border is something called diffusion. Just imagine you're in a super crowded room and you see an empty corner. You're naturally going to spread out into that space, right? Well, molecules do the exact same thing. They move from a packed area to a less packed area. It's totally passive, requires zero energy. It's just the path of least resistance. You've probably heard the term osmosis. All it is really is a special name for the diffusion of water. Since water is so incredibly important for, well, everything, its movement gets its own fancy term. It's just water flowing across the membrane to keep everything in balance. And this process is absolutely critical for a cell to survive. But hang on, what if the cell needs to bring something inside that's more concentrated inside than it is outside? Diffusion won't work, it's going the wrong way. That's when the cell needs active transport. It has to spend energy, that ATP from the mitochondria, to literally pump substances across the membrane against their natural flow. Think of it as the cell's VIP delivery service for things it absolutely has to have. So we've covered the basics of how cells are built and how they operate. Now, let's shift gears and look at a very special kind of cell that holds just incredible promise for the future of medicine. I'm talking about the master blueprints of the body. The key word here is undifferentiated. What that means is that stem cells are basically blank slates. They're like lumps of clay. They haven't decided what they want to be yet, which gives them this amazing potential to become a bone cell, a brain cell, a heart cell, pretty much any type of cell the body might need. And that potential is already changing the world. I mean, this isn't science fiction. We are using stem cells right now to repair damaged tissues, to develop groundbreaking new therapies for diseases, and to really push the boundaries of regenerative medicine, which is basically helping the body heal itself in ways we never, ever thought were possible. And that kind of brings us full circle, doesn't it? From a single, simple design, life builds this unbelievable complexity. And with stem cells, it feels like we've found the master key, the original blueprint. So it just makes you wonder, if these cells hold the fundamental code to build and rebuild any part of us, what are the real limits here? What can't they repair? And what's coming next?